Hi, my name is Junwei. I'm a student from Monash University, and today I'll be presenting about my topic for PSI 1011 Psychology, which is punishment effective behavior modification strategy in children? Well, let's take it back to the days where you're just a little child, a time when all you wanted to do was just have fun, having nap times in kindergarten, and there are no worries at all except for having punishments, which I think I can say for most of the people who grew up in families with physical punishment as a method for discipline. mm, Childhood wasn't that great, right? Now the big question is, can punishment really modify a children's behavior? And when I say punishment, I mean especially physical punishment. And the answer is yes. Yes, it can. But punishment can also be either bad or good, depending on how you use it. So there are two types of punishments, which is the negative punishment and also the positive punishment. Negative punishment has been seen as a rather effective way to raise their children in most cultures, but it can also provide side effects as well, negative side effects, which includes child aggression, antisocial behavior, lower intellectual achievements, mental health problems such as depression, and so on. Now, all these side effects are from a research paper from Ann Smith, and it is called the State of Research on the Effects of Physical Punishment, to show that I didn't make this up. Research shows that there are other effective ways besides physical punishment to discipline our children as well, and one of them is the study of enforcing chair timeouts with room timeouts. The experiment consists of 18 children aged 2 to 6 with their mothers who were observed in a playroom full of toys with instructions given by the observer to the mother through an earpiece. And the purpose of the following study was to empirically contrast two methods of enforcing initial chair timeouts with preschool children. And these two methods are the room timeouts and the spanking method. The parent and the child were randomly assigned to one of two experimental conditions, which is either the spanking method and the room timeout method mentioned before. And the mothers were assigned to certain tasks to do, which includes asking their children to pick up and put away their toys, and three following actions are taken to the behavior. Briefly saying, mothers repeated all the baseline procedures with the following standardized additions, which is number one, if the child complied with an instruction or warning, the mother would praise the child, for example, thank you, you're a good helper, and etc. And the second one is, if the child disobeyed an instruction, the mother would warn the child, for example, if you don't put away the toy in the container, you will have to sit in the corner. And the last one is, if the child would disobey the warning, he or she was sent to the chair timeout. Both experimental conditions shared the following chair timeout components, which the mom initiated timeout by stating, since you did not put the toy away, you have to sit in the corner. And the mom would guide the child to the chair in the corner of the playroom to sit him or her down and tell her to stay there. And if the child was non-destructive in the 2 minutes period, the mom would let her to get off earlier. However, if the child continues to be disruptive, the amount of time of him or her staying in a chair would slowly increase for punishment. Children in the spanking group who were sent to the timeout and who made an escape effort were spanked. And specifically, the mom would tell her child that since they left the chair, they must be spanked. And she then spanked the child twice on the bottom with her open hand, replaced the child on the timeout chair, and said, "Now stay on the chair." This procedure was repeated for subsequent. So, for the children in the room timeout group who made an escape effort were sent to a simulated room timeout. The mother was asked to ignore all the child behavior to but they were encouraged to visually check the child if they experience any concern of child safety. After tons of observing, results shows that the room timeout method is more effective than the spanking method for disruptive children to behave properly. Both procedures, the spanking and room timeout, are really effective in inhibiting child escape efforts from chair timeouts. However, physical punishment, which is often used to enforce chair timeouts model aggression, may provoke aggressive child reactions, and it clearly distresses the child and appears less acceptable to parents to room timeouts. And the room timeout procedure described in the article improves on both traditional timeout options. The room timeout procedure minimizes the negative effects of room timeouts and eliminates the use of physical punishment. The study shows that physical punishment was not an important component of compliance training procedures, so it also shows that physical punishment is not reliable for developing a child or modifying their behavior.